Arsenal have just spent over 100 million in this transfer window. But sadly, it's all gone to defensive players like Zubamendi, Norgard, and Kepa Arrizabalaga. So today, I'm taking over Arsenal using their new transfers and hopefully bringing in exciting attackers like Sesko or Gyökeres and trying to win them their first ever UCL and make them the world's best team. And of course, Arsenal have only brought in 3 new signings, bringing in Martin Zubamendi, Kepa Arrizabalaga, and Christian Norgard. And this is what the brand new Arsenal side is looking like. I don't think they're ready to win the Champions League yet. And with only 78 million left to spend, it's not enough to bring in the superstars that we need to win the Champions League. But before we can sell players and make new signings, let's make our debut against Wolves. And here comes new captain Bukayo Saka. I have converted him into the captain of this club. Through ball into Martin Odegaard, takes a touch, has the shot, and it goes in. 1-0 against Wolves. And now it's Bukayo Saka from a corner with the cross in. It falls into Odegaard, and it's another goal for Martin Odegaard. 2-0 to Arsenal. And here comes Kai Havertz, gets a through ball into the new captain Bukayo Saka. Can he score on his first game as captain? And he bangs it in. 3-0. This game is over. And we have won on our debut. Let's go ahead and make some signings. But before we get to signings, our new captain Saka came into my office and said that if we don't win the Champions League this season, he would like to leave the club because he doesn't want to become like Harry Kane. And as we receive the terrible Saka news, here are all the players we have sold, making a little bit of money, but I'm worried that Saka will leave us next season. So with the 190 million we do have now, we must sign superstars to avoid Saka leaving. And the first player I'm bringing in is Victor Gyökeres. Arsenal have finally signed on number 9 as for a cheap 65 million because that was his release clause. Surely he can help us win the Champions League, so Saka will not leave the club. And our next signing is another superstar for 70 million plus Gabriel Martinelli. We are bringing in Rodrigo, who will be playing on that left-hand side. Final signing this season, it is Eberechi Eze for 30 million. The 81 overall will be a backup center mid and left winger to the side. I think we made enough signings to go ahead and help us win Arsenal's first ever Champions League. And this is what the brand new Arsenal side is looking like. There's no way we're not a favorite to win the Champions League. But it's time to find out if we made the right signings as it's time for the first game of the Champions League season. And now it's Martin Odegaard on the ball, through ball, straight away into Victor Gyökeres, and he's way too fast for the Union Belgian team to handle him. But here comes Union Sterling, the team from Belgium. It's Ayensa with a shot, and we have conceded a goal. How is that happening? This should be an easy victory. And now it's Martin Odegaard through ball into Rodrigo, wearing that number 10 for Arsenal. Gives it into Victor Gyökeres, and it goes in top corner. Rodrigo gets his assist. Gyökeres gets his second. And now it's Jurrien Timber on the ball. Gives it into Declan Rice, who finds Martin Zubamendi. And now it's King Bukayo Saka, the captain. Through ball into Victor Gyökeres, who's looking for a first-half hat-trick. Gyökeres gives it to Saka. Saka to Odegaard. Back into Victor Gyökeres. It's beautiful football as Gyökeres gets his first ever hat-trick for Arsenal. And now in the second half, Jurrien Timber gives the ball to Declan Rice, who finds Ethan Nwaneri. We made some subs because this game is over. It's still Ethan Nwaneri in the ball. Gets rid of the defenders. It's still Nwaneri. 1v1 cuts back. Gives it into Eze. Come on, Eze. You gotta finish that. And now Ethan Nwaneri picks up the ball once again. He's been brilliant since coming on. A couple minutes here. Gives it into Rodrigo. It goes in. 4-1. Surely we have won this game. And the whistle is blown. We win 4-1. I'm excited to win the Champions League this year, because if not, Saka will be leaving the side. But sadly, in the group stages, we finished in 13th place. How did we do so bad? That means in the playoffs, we will be facing Frankfurt. So let's see how the first leg goes here in the playoffs. I'm worried that this team is not performing well, and it's going to be a 2-0 victory. But it's now time for the second leg against Frankfurt. We must secure this victory. I didn't want to sim it because I feel like they were going to bottle it. And here come Frankfurt once again. Hugo Ekitike beats Gabriel Ekitike, and it goes in. We go down 1-0. This is not good. And now here comes Martin Zubamendi. Finds Ito Nwaneri because Bukayo Saka is suspended. It's Nwaneri on the ball. Finds Rodrigo. And here comes Rodrigo goes. Cuts inside. Rodrigo through ball into Victor Gyökeres with the chip. And that was a bit risky. I should have just banged it in. Hugo Ekitike gives it into Chaibi. Great tackle from Jurrien Timber. Can we go on this counter? Jurrien Timber gives it to Declan Rice. Declan Rice finds Ito Nwaneri. Nwaneri, come on. Make a run, Gyökeres. It falls into Gyökeres. And here he comes. 1v1 against the goalkeeper. And it goes in. Let's go. Gyökeres makes it 3-1. 1. Ethan Oneri picks up the ball, gives it to Declan Rice, who finds Victor Gyökeres, cuts inside, looking for a through ball. He does find Oneri, who's been incredible every time he goes on the pitch. Oneri with a finish. It goes in top corner. 4-1 in aggregate. And now it's Declan Rice on the ball, does find Eberechi Eze into Rodrigo goes. Can we go ahead and end this game, make it 4-1 in aggregate? Through ball into Eberechi Eze. 5-1 in aggregate is what I meant. This game is over. And the game comes to an end. We had that scared, but we secured the victory. And if you guys have enjoyed this video so far, make sure to subscribe. We're trying to get a 500k by 2026. And in the round of 16, we will be facing PSG. I'm very scared for this first leg. Let's see how it goes at home. It's a 1-1 draw. But here come the defending champions. Kvaratskhelia gives it into Josko Gvardiol, into Kochku, back into Kvaratskhelia, and it goes in. How is it that the first shot they shoot, it goes in, man? And now it's Declan Rice finds Bukayo Saka, our best player, our captain in this team, gives it to Rodrigo. Come on, we need to go here. We need somebody to step up. It falls back into Bukayo Saka, gets rid of Josko Gvardiol with the finish, and it goes in when we need him the most. It's the captain, Saka. But here come PSG. Openda gives it to Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, who scored the first goal. David Raya, what are you doing, man? What is that horrible attempt for a save? And now it's Declan Rice on the ball, finds Bukayo Saka straight from kickoff. We need him to step up once again. He is our best player after all. It's still Bukayo Saka. Who is he going to find? He gives it to Rodrigo. Rodrigo takes a touch, gets rid of one defender, gets rid of a second. Low-driven finish. It's saved by Donnarumma. And now Gyökeres is on the ball now, looking for Bukayo Saka once again. He is running down the wing. We really missed him against Frankfurt. It's still Bukayo Saka. 1v1. Cuts inside, gives it to Gyökeres. And no, Gyökeres, you have to finish that. And right before halftime, it's Declan Rice gives it to Odegaard, who finds Rodrigo. Rodrigo through ball into Bukayo Saka once again, and it goes in. The hero, the captain, makes it 3-3 once again. And now in the second half, here comes Bukayo Saka, who's on a hat-trick, looking to give us the lead for the very first time. And it's still Bukayo Saka looking for that cross, finds Odegaard, lays it up into Rodrigo, and it was about to go in, but the referee calls it for offside. And Bukayo Saka picks up the ball, gives it into Martin Odegaard, who finds Rodrigo into Victor Gyökeres, holds it up, gives it to Saka, who's on a hat-trick, cuts inside, gives it into Odegaard, who lays it up into Rodrigo, and it goes in. Saka kickstarts the attack. 4-3. We might knock out PSG. And now it's Martin Odegaard through ball all the way into Rodrigo. Rodrigo cuts inside, gives it into Gyökeres. 1v1 to end this tie, and it's all over. We have upset the current UCL champions. And the whistle has been blown. We have beaten the UCL winners. We need to win this Champions League. We cannot lose Bukayo Saka. And in the quarterfinals, we will be facing Atalanta. Let's see how this first leg goes. Can we get a victory? 4-2. I think we're going to the semis. And when it comes to the second leg, we're simming it. I think we got a good enough lead, and we're in the Arsenal Stadium, Emirates. It's a 3-3 draw. We're still going to the semis. And in the semifinals, we will be facing Man City. Declan Rice is suspended. How is this first leg going to go? 3-3 draw. Oh no, boys. But in the second leg, it's another draw, but a 0-0 this time as we're going to a pen shootout. And the first penalty taker is going to be Bukayo Saka. He better set the tone correctly here. Top right. He misses. Saka, what was that? Omar Marmoush goes to the right. Oh no, we're down 1-0 to City here. And now it's Rodrigo to take the next penalty here. Where is he going to go? He goes to the bottom right. I cannot believe Saka misses penalty. And now it's Ederson Moares to take the next penalty. The keeper, surprisingly, to the right. David Raya, I think, gets a hand to it. And now Gyökeres to take the next penalty. Top right middle, it goes in. 2-1 to Arsenal. Nico Gonzalez up next for Man City. Goes to the left. David Raya makes another save. And now it's Declan Rice to go ahead and make a 3-1 lead here. He bangs it in. And if Man City misses next penalty, if Bernardo Silva misses his penalty, they're out. And Arsenal in a UCL final. Silva, oh my God, Raya goes the right way but cannot get to it. Odegaard has to score this. And Arsenal are UCL finalists for the first time in years. Top right, it goes in. We are going to the UCL final, but I cannot believe Saka missed his pen. If you want to start your career mode in the new season with new kits and new transfers, check out Road Kits in the link in the description. And in the UCL final, we will be facing Real Madrid. And we know what happened in Road Lab the last time they faced, and also Real Madrid have never beaten Arsenal. We have to win this UCL final to complete this rebuild. If not, we're gonna have to go into next season without Bukayo Saka. And here comes Martin Odegaard as the game kicks off. It falls into Victor Gyökeres. Gyökeres through ball into Rodrigo. Holds the ball, gives it to Bukayo Saka with the finesse, and it's a save by Courtois. Declan Rice to take this corner here, crosses it in. He finds William Saliba with the bicycle kick and goes wide. But here comes Vinicius Jr. on the ball, looking to take the lead for Real Madrid. Cuts inside, gives it into Memphis. Depay, we go for the tackle. I thought you were sure earlier. Raya makes a save though. And here comes Philip Foden, crosses it in into Memphis. Depay, Raya, what are you doing? That's like your third huge mistake this season. Real Madrid take a 1-0 lead. And now it's Miles who scarcely gives it to Zubamendi, who finds Rodrigo's. Rodrigo's looking for a run here. He finds Miles, Lewis Kelly, and here he comes. The left back with the finish. It goes in. The Arsenal boy equalizes the game for us. But here come Real Madrid. It falls into Philip Foden. Great save from Raya. And now it's Alvaro Carreras with the crossing into Eduardo Camavinga. It hits the crossbar. We get lucky. And now it's Jurrien Timber on the ball here. Gives it into Bukayo Saka, who finds Victor Gyökeres. He's through on goal. 1v1 against Real Madrid's Courtois. And it goes in. 2-1 lead in the first half. Let's go, Gyökeres. But here comes Vinicius Jr. 1v1 against Raya. It goes wide. We dodge a bullet. But now it's Vinicius Jr. in the second half into Fede. Great save from Raya. Clear it out. But it falls back into Vinicius. Memphis. Oh, it goes wide. And here come Real Madrid in the second half. It falls into Camavinga. Into Federico Valverde. Where are my defenders? What a finish from Fede. It's 2-2. And now it's Bukayo Saka on the ball. Gives it to Gyökeres. We're trying to score after we conceded. It falls back into Bukayo Saka. And it goes in. 3-2. 5 minutes after conceding, we take the lead again because of the captain. And now it's Real Madrid on the ball. Jude Bellingham gives it into his English teammate in Philip Foden. Come on, Lewis Kelly, get the ball. No, he can't. It's Jude Bellingham. It goes into Fede, into Martinelli against his own team. He's equalized the game. We're bottling it. This is not good. But here comes Jude Bellingham in the 81st minute into Memphis. It falls into Martinelli. We got to get this ball out of here. Martinelli wins the ball back, and it's going to be a penalty. What? How in what world is that a penalty? That makes no sense. And here comes Jurrien Timber here. That's a handball. Oh my days. That's a rough call. Vinny to win the Champions League for Real Madrid. Goes to the left-hand side. It's over. I think we have bottled the UCL final. And Federico Valverde lifts the Champions League for Real Madrid. We could have won Arsenal's first ever European trophy, but now we're going into next season without Bukayo Saka. But it gets even worse. We somehow finished in 5th place. With all the talent we have, no Champions League football next season. We might lose even more players. And this is what the squad is looking like at the end of the season. It looks incredible, but I think we went too all in the Champions League this year. And here are the stats. 33 goals and 4 assists for Gyökeres. 38-7 for Saka, who will be leaving us next season. 16-22 for Declan Rice. 16-12 for Rodrigo. 13-2 for Kai Havertz. 9-14 for Martin Odegaard. And as the brand new season begins, Saka isn't the only one that wants to leave the club. William Saliba and David Raya have also been requested to leave as they didn't want to play Europa League football. And as Bukayo Saka leaves Arsenal, here is where every single player went to as they left our club. And yes, we may have 800 million to spend, but convincing players to join a Europa League side is not going to be easy. But before I could make replacement signings, Nwaneri came into my office and asked to give him a chance this season that he can fill in Saka's boots. And you know what? At an 80 overall, I think I'm going to give him this opportunity. But if he fails, when we're back in the Champions League, I'll sign a superstar. And the first signing I am making for 75 million, it's an 87 rated Emiliano Martinez. I know he isn't the youngest keeper, but somebody who has a lot of passion will get us back into the Champions League and help us eventually win it. And the second signing I'm bringing in for 55 million is Noni Madueke. I'm not the biggest of fans of him, but he'll be a backup to Nwaneri. And up next for 65 million is the replacement for Saliba and Christian Mosquera. Like I said, we can't bring in the likes of Bastoni because we don't have UCL football. And our final signing for 30 million is Martin Fernandes to play backup to Lewis Kelly. And this is what the brand new side is looking like, huge downgrades. But my goal this season is to win the Europa League and get back to the Champions League. And at the end of the group stages, Arsenal finished in first place, which means in the round of 16, we'll be facing Lazio. That's a tough opponent. So let's see how the first leg goes against Lazio. Rodrigo is suspended, but I think we'll still get the victory. It's a 3-0 win. And with a 3-0 lead, I'm definitely simming this second leg. I think we should be fine. Gabriel suspended, but it shouldn't be an issue. It's a 2-0 win. And in in the quarterfinals, we will be facing Frankfurt. Let's see how this first leg goes. We should be picking up this victory, and it's a 3-1 win. And with this 3-1 lead, I think we should be easily going to the semifinals in this second leg, and it's a 3-0 victory. I think we're going all the way to the final. And in the semifinals, we will have Fiorentina. Let's see how this first leg goes, and it's going to be a 3-0 victory. And with the 3-0 lead, we're going to the final, boys, unless Arsenal find a way to bottle, and no, it's not happening tonight. And now in the Europa League final, we will be facing Napoli. It's now time to face Napoli. This was a rebuilding season. Let's win this trophy and move on to winning the Champions League next season. And now Declan Rice picks up the ball, gives it into Victor Gyökeres. Can we go in and score from the first attack of this game? Gyökeres has a through ball into Ethan Nwaneri, wins the ball back, has a shot, and it goes wide. Come on, Nwaneri, you gotta score that, man. And here comes Victor Osimhen. Great tackle from Gabriel, gives it into Declan Rice, who finds Gyökeres. Gyökeres through ball into Nwaneri. Can he go ahead and redeem himself? And no, Meret makes a save. And now it's Nwaneri to take this corner here. Can we go ahead and score from here? It falls into Jurriën Timber. It falls into Gyökeres. And now it's gonna be a penalty. We will take that. And to take the penalty, it will be Victor Gyökeres. Now that Saka is gone, goes to the left-hand side, and we take a 1-0 lead against Napoli. And now in the second half, here comes Nwaneri on the ball, looking to make it 2-0. Can we go ahead and defeat Napoli? He sprints past the defenders. It's still Ethan Nwaneri, looking to prove a point. Gives it to Gyökeres. It's a block. And now it's Declan Rice finds Zubimendi, who finds Ethan Nwaneri. Can he score this time around? And yes, he does. It's 2-0. We extend our lead. And here comes Declan Rice on the ball, sends a through ball into Ethan Nwaneri. Come on, can we go ahead and end up this game? Make it 3-0. He gives it all the way into Rodrigo. Touch, finish. It's all over. We're winning Arsenal's first European trophy. And yes, Odegaard lives the Europa League. Arsenal have finally won a European trophy. I wish it was a Champions League, but that's what's coming up next. But there's better news, as Arsenal have won their first Premier League title in decades. As the player of the season was Rodrigo, and in the team of the season we had Gyökeres, Rodrigo, Odegaard, Gabriel, White, and Martinez. And this is what the side is looking like at the end of the season. We got Rodrigo out of 92. Nwaneri went up all the way to an 86, as even Emiliano Martinez reached a 90 overall. This squad is looking Champions League ready. And here are the stats: 57-9 for Rodrigo, 29-2 for Gyökeres, 24-11 for Nwaneri. I think he's earned his spot here. 13-3 for Kai Havertz, 10-13 for Declan Rice. But now next season we're gonna have the Champions League. However, I'm worried that some players are going to want to leave. And to kick off season number 3, Gyökeres has come into my office and has requested to leave the side, as he believes that he can't win the Champions League here at Arsenal. But as much as this sucks, luckily he is the only one that wants to leave the club. And as Victor Gyökeres walks out of the club and joins Man City, we of course have 281 million to spend on a replacement. And the one and only signing we're bringing in this season is for 130 million, Benjamin Sesko at an 85 overall. He is not better than Victor Gyökeres, but I know one day he can be, and I hope he can win us a Champions League this season. And as Benjamin Sesko joins the side, I think we can do it. I think we can win the Champions League this season. And at the end of the knockout stages, Arsenal finished in first place this time around. That is a good sign, as in the round of 16 we're facing Borussia Dortmund. And it's time for the first leg of the round of 16, Bottle Job versus Bottle Job. Who's gonna win? It's a 2-2 draw. And it is now time for the second leg. We are at a draw, but I think we can beat Dortmund. And now it's Ethan Nwaneri on the ball, gives it into Benjamin Sesko. Benjamin Sesko sends a through ball into Ethan Nwaneri, and it goes in. 3-2, 3 minutes in. And now it's Benjamin Sesko in the 14th minute, gives it to Declan Rice, who finds Zubimendi into Benjamin Sesko, cuts inside, gives it to Rodrigo. Kobel with a brilliant save. And here comes Giovanni Reina on the ball, gives it to Marcel Sabitzer, and it goes in. Martina cannot save it, as the defense got beat. But here come Borussia Dortmund on the ball. Great tackle, and no, Martinez makes a save. And now it's Martin Odegaard on the ball, gives it to Zubimendi, who finds Rodrigo into Benjamin Sesko. Sesko back into Rodrigo, and now Rodrigo through ball into Odegaard. Get there, fam. And now it's Miles Lewis-Kelly who finds Rodrigo. Rodrigo sends it all the way to Nwaneri into Benjamin Sesko. It's saved by Kobo, man. Declan Rice should take this corner now. Can we take the lead lead before halftime. It falls into Gabriel, header wide. But now in the second half, it's Kareem the Dream. Ariemi, please get the ball off him. It falls into Julian. Great save from Emi Martinez. And now here comes Martin Odegaard through a ball into Benjamin Sesko. Gets rid of one. Looking to get rid of a second. Low driven. It's saved by Kobo. We need to score. And now it's Ethan Nwaneri on the ball from the corner. Gives it into Rodrigo. I can't believe it's still 1-1. We should be dominating Dortmund. It falls into Mosquera. Mosquera into Martin. Martin into Nwaneri. Nwaneri on his right foot finish. It goes in. Nwaneri gets his brace. We're going to the next round. And in the quarterfinal, Arsenal will be facing Atletico. Let's see how this first leg goes. And it's a 3-0 victory. We've smashed Atletico. And it's time for the second leg. I think it's pretty safe to simulate this second leg. Yeah, it's another 1-0 victory. And in the semifinals, we're facing the team that beat us out in the UCL final 2 years ago. And it's going to be a 4-1 victory. We've smashed them. And it's time for the second leg. We won 4-1. There's no chance Arsenal bottle this game. And it's going to be a 3-1 victory. We're back in the UCL final. And now in the UCL final, we will be facing PSG. And these might be the final stats. 50-10 for Rodrigo. He's incredible. 27-3 for Benjamin Sesko. 20-4 for King Kai. 14-22 for Declan Rice. 13-10 for Nwaneri. 10 goals for Madueke. And 8-17 for Odegaard. And this could very well be Arsenal's greatest team of all time if they can win their first ever UCL. But it's time for the biggest game in Arsenal's history versus the recent treble winners, PSG. And now it's Luis Openda on the ball with a shot. It goes wide. And now it's Ousmane and Dembele on the corner here. Can we win the ball back? Yes, Rodrigo does. And it should be the counter-attack of dreams here. Here comes Rodrigo goes. He's running down the right wing where he used to play at Madrid. And now he could win a Champions League here for Arsenal in the first goal of the game. And yes, he puts it away. 15 minutes in, Arsenal take a lead. And now Odegaard gives it to Benjamin Sesko. Back into Martin Odegaard through ball into Rodrigo. Here come Arsenal once again. As Rodrigo goes on the ball, squares it into Sesko, and it goes in. No, he was offside. I thought he was perfectly in line. But here come PSG. It's Desiree Doué on the ball. Jerian Timber wins the header. Can we go on the counter? Nwaneri into Declan Rice. Declan Rice cuts inside, gives it to Benjamin Sesko through ball into Nwaneri. This time, he's not offside with the finish. It goes in 2-0 before halftime. But now in the second half, here come PSG. It's Luis Openda through ball into Vitinha with a shot. Martinez keeping us in the lead here. PSG, however, have a corner. This game is not over. They could come back at any time. Desiree Doué with the crossing. Skelly clears it out. It falls into Rodrigo Gavardio. Oh my God, Martinez. And now it's Kavicha Kvaratskhelia looking to go ahead and kickstart a remontada for PSG. It's still Kavicha. We can't stop him. Yes, Mosquera stops him. Here we go on the counter. One more goal and this game is over. Rodrigo loses the ball but gets it back. And now it's Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard through ball into Benjamin Sesko. 1v1 against Donnarumma. And it goes in. It's all over. We're going to be Champions League winners. And Martin Odegaard lifts the Champions League. We have finally won Arsenal a UCL trophy and they've become the world's best team. And if you guys enjoyed this video, watch me make Ronaldo a Liverpool Academy player.